Welcome to the Invite Health podcast, where our degreed healthcare professionals are excited to offer you the most important health and wellness information you need to make informed choices about your health. You can learn more about the products discussed in each of these episodes and all that Invite Health has to offer at www.invitehealth.com/podcast. First-time customers can use promo code podcast at checkout for an additional 15% off your first purchase. Let's get started.
We can all probably relate to a time in our life that we felt a little moody. You hear that word quite often, like this person's moody or that person's moody or I'm in a bad mood. But having a mood issue is actually quite common. The prevalence of any type of mood disorder among U.S. adults is actually very, very prevalent. Over 20% of U.S. adults experience a mood disorder at some point in time in their lives. And we know that there are many factors that can lead into a mood issue. We can look at an improper diet that can make us feel not so great. We can look at inadequate stress response. Maybe we don't manage stress that well. But we can also look at different nutrients that, when we don't get adequate exposure to them, can lead to issues when it comes to our mood. So I want to talk about those things today. I'm Dr. Amanda Williams, Scientific Director at Invite Health. And being moody is something that most people don't strive to achieve. And we know that when it comes to nutritional interventions and dietary supplements, there have been numerous clinical research trials that have indicated that something as simple as a comprehensive multivitamin, multimineral can really get people into a much better state of mind. In the Journal of Nutrients in 2021, they looked at the impact of daily supplementation of different nutrients and assessed if they would be beneficial for those who were experiencing mood disorders, including major depressive disorder. They looked at indications of use of SAMe, acetyl L-carnitine, alpha-lipoic acid, NAC, zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, coenzyme Q10. And you sit there and you pause and you go, I think I've heard about these before. And yes, you have. We offer all of these wonderful formulations in our product line, and we understand the scientific validity as to why someone would want to incorporate these into their daily routine. It's fascinating when you look at different research trials where they have been able to clearly link low levels of acetyl L-carnitine to depression, low levels of omega-3 fatty acids to depression, inadequate B vitamin absorption to depression. So it makes sense that just covering those bases would help us with our mood. And certainly we have other studies that indicate this as well. The effect of vitamin and mineral supplementation on stress, on just generalized mood issues. We're not talking about, clinical, mood disorder, but just maybe you just feel a little edgy, you feel a little moody. We can see the influence that just minor dietary adjustments can have when it comes to creating balance, once again, for these different enzymatic pathways and biochemical processes in the body. There was a meta-analysis that was conducted where they looked at the influence of dietary supplementation on mood. So they assessed all of these different clinical research trials. This was in the Journal of Psychosomatic Medicine. And what was quite fascinating about this was about a decade ago when this study was conducted, is they went through and they did this meta-analysis. So they populated the data and they were looking at issues such as anxiety, looking at depression, but not major depressive disorder, looking at fatigue. And they could see that micronutrient supplementation had a very beneficial effect on perceived stress, on improving everyday mood. And they found in particular that supplements that contained higher doses of B vitamins were more effective in improving mood states. Well, we know that those B vitamins are very important when it comes to the neurotransmitters, as well as allowing our bodies to detoxify. So you look at the core multivitamin, the performance multivitamin, the men's, the women's. All of our multivitamins contain bioactive B vitamins, so you can get the most out of those B complexes that you're taking in those formulations. We also offer the Methyl B. Now, the Methyl B is kind of that B booster for those who do feel, yeah, I'm a little edgy. I do get moody from time to time, or maybe I feel moody all the time. Adding in 1 capsule of Methyl B gives the body that ability to better allow for those happy, feel-good neurotransmitters to be released. It helps to create balance in the body. And scientific study after scientific study continue to show us how these multi-ingredient supplements can really help to regulate our overall mood, which improves our physical well-being as well as our psychological well-being. The Journal of Dietary Supplements, they did a double-blind placebo-controlled trial where they were looking at the use of different nutrients, micronutrients, to help people reduce daily stress and create an optimal mood balance. So they took healthy college-age students and they randomly assigned them to either a placebo group or they gave them this multi-nutrient complex, which included in it B vitamins, of course, magnesium. It had 5-HTP, which is 5-hydroxytryptophan. Pretty impressive. So just a couple of basic nutrients in this formulation, and you could see this positive benefit when it came to improvement on mood. And all of these things matter because if we don't address mood issues, this can lead to physiological problems in the body. When someone has low mood, this can start to affect your energy status, which means your cells are starting to struggle to produce and create and generate adequate energy. So oftentimes when people do feel moody, at the same time, they feel like they have a depletion in energy. They have that irritability, which can affect your sleep cycle. So if you're not sleeping, you're not giving your body time for rest and repair, which is certainly problematic and something that we don't want to be dealing with. So understanding that there are many little things that we can do, minor changes that can make an astronomical difference in how we feel every day, including in omega-3 fatty acids, improving our diet so that we're eating whole foods, not these ultra-processed foods with these strange chemicals and pesticides that create havoc in our neurochemical pathways. There's been a lot of focus as of recently when it comes to vitamin D, and if you have deficient levels or even insufficient levels, how that affects your mood. In the International Journal of Preventive Medicine in 2019, they looked at the effect of vitamin D supplementation on mood status, as well as inflammation. So they took a group of type 2 diabetic who were also presenting with anxiety. They assessed their baseline vitamin D levels, categorized these individuals into either a deficient, insufficient range, and then they assessed for different markers for stress in the body. C-reactive protein, looking at cortisol, of course, assessing their vitamin D levels. They gave these individuals vitamin D3 for 16 weeks, so a 4-month study. And at the end of this trial, what they found was that those who were experiencing more of those mood disorders started off with lower vitamin D levels. As those levels came up throughout that 4-month trial, they could start to see this significant shift, this improvement in their overall mood status. But at the same time, they were also getting that wonderful benefit that we know comes with vitamin D supplementation as working as an anti-inflammatory. These are common studies that are out there, and you hear these terms thrown around so often. I'm moody. I know someone who's moody. And maybe we need to pause and say, are we getting the right nutrients? Are we allowing that gut-brain connection to work more efficiently? The impact of our diet is incredibly profound. In the Journal of Current Nutrition Reports, they talk about gut health and mental health and the impact of diet and dietary supplements on mood disorders, and how several studies and reviews have found that promoting a healthy diet can help improve mood, and how adding in simple dietary supplementation can also lead to significant improvement. Creating balance in the body oftentimes is all that we have to do. I don't have to race off to our doctor and say, hey, my family tells me I'm moody. Maybe we just need to do a little self-assessment and say, what am I eating every day? Am I taking the core multivitamin or the performance multivitamin? Am I getting adequate vitamin D? Have I ever had my vitamin D level tested? Do I take coenzyme Q10? Am I taking acetyl L-carnitine with alpha-lipoic acid? These are basic nutrients that can create balance once again and get you to a point where you're feeling less moody and more engaged in your day-to-day life. And that is what we want at the end of the day. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Invite Health podcast. Remember, you can find all of our episodes for free wherever you listen to podcasts or by visiting invitehealth.com/podcast. Do make sure that you subscribe and you leave us a review. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Invite Health. And we will see you next time for another episode of the Invite Health podcast.